All right, y'all. So I have been sitting here telling you guys about my unfortunate story when it comes down to like going to Miami, specifically with men, and why I would never, ever do that shit again. So this was the straw that broke the camel back. The last time that I ever tried and would ever go, it went wrong in all the wrong directions. Okay. So to start off, let me give you a little bit of backstory. I was with this man who I thought was the love of my life, who was gonna have kids, we were gonna get married, boom, boom, boom. And it just didn't work out that way. But we decided that we wanted to go to Miami, have a nice little trip. And this was already planned. It was pre-planned. I had a nice little itinerary. I knew all the restaurants that I wanted to try, all the little water sports that I wanted to go to. I saved up my money so that we can go. He had his part, I had my part. That was what we were supposed to do. Now, mind you, this man is not from where I'm from, so he took a plane to me so that we both could take a plane to Miami, which worked out great because subconsciously, not, not subconsciously, sequentially, it's a coinkydink. It was a coinkydink. It was a coinkydink that my best friend was getting married. Okay, she was getting married. I was in the wedding, and I just got off of work. Everything was gonna work out perfectly, and boom! Right after the wedding, we was gonna hop on a plane. It was gonna be perfect, like a little make believe honeymoon. I was so excited. I was like, I want to go to Miami with my boo thing. So by now, if you haven't noticed, I like to live in the Lulu land, and this was probably the most delusional I've ever been in life. When I say this is the most delusional I've ever been in life, if you knew the full story between me and this man, you would want to come through the screen and slap me. Somebody should have. Somebody should have slapped the dog shit out of me and told me to get my life together, leave that man alone. But that's not what happened. So everything was beautiful. The wedding went off with a hitch. I was a matron of honor, maid of honor. Had my dress. I was gorgeous in gold. My best friend was gorgeous. And walk through the motherfucking door is my tuxedo mask. And the guy that I thought was my Prince Charming, he walks in the door looking debonair. But he was late. He was late as fuck. He was supposed to been at the goddamn wedding, but shit happens. So he got here late. And the story that he told me, come to find out, was not the story that actually happened. I'm gonna tell you the story that actually happened somewhere in the video, and you're gonna look at me and be like, I should have slapped you in the face. Where was your friends? Where was your family? I would have never told nobody this in 10,000 years. Took it to the grave. Whatever. He comes in, I'm smitten. I'm like, ooh, my boo here, blah, blah, blah. I look good. I'm drunk as fuck. Asthma attack. And now we're gonna fast forward to the next day. So the next day after the wedding, we catch the flight. The flight was cool. We were cool. Everything was cool. I was like, this is gonna be the best day ever. I was so excited. Like white girl excited. Like, we get on the plane, everything's perfect. We get off the plane, and that's where shit starts to fucking go wrong. Not only is it raining, I should have known, because it's always raining when I get to Miami. I have not been to Miami where it's not raining as soon as we fucking get there. That should have been the first sign that this was gonna be bad. So it's raining. We go get our package. We get our stuff. We hop on the Uber. Not the Uber. We hop on the yeah, we hop in the Uber, taxi, whatever, and we get to our Airbnb. Now, mind you, I didn't know exactly how this Airbnb looked. I left that to him. I was just like, he showed me a couple pictures of a couple different Airbnbs, and I just kind of like chose a couple and just told him to like pretty much do the rest. So this is the one he chose. I never seen it, and this is the first time seeing the inside of it. We get into the Airbnb. I was a little bummed out that it didn't have a balcony, because that's kind of what I wanted, and like I wanted someplace that had like a pool, things like that. So the best thing about this location is that it wasn't super far from the ocean, and it wasn't super far from restaurants, and it also wasn't super far from like the little trolley that takes you everywhere. That was a great location. We get in, everything's smooth, we start to unpack. This is where things went downhill. We start to unpack, and this nigga is frantic. He's looking through his stuff. he's like, what the fuck, he's frantic, and I'm looking like, what's wrong, what's going on, what's up? And he couldn't find his weed. I was like, you brought weed on the plane? Why? And he was looking at me like, why not? And I was just like, I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke at all. I know plenty of people that do, but I'm not a smoker whatsoever. So he was frantic because apparently he had lost a large amount of weed that he had on the plane. And he was like, I came on the plane to Detroit and I had no problem. But from here to like Miami, there was a problem. So pretty much they took his weed. And he was so upset about it that it ruined his goddamn mood. Um, I At this point in time, I should have known that I don't date brothers who need weed. Like, it's okay if you smoke it, but if you get to the point where you need weed, like every other hour, if you needed to sleep, eat, breathe, walk, have a good ass day, I don't fucking fuck with you. Like, don't talk to me. I don't want to deal with your bullshit. And this is when I found out that I'm like this. This is when I found out how annoying that was. Because he ruined my whole mood. Which I understand. If something of yours got stolen, okay, bet. But we're in Miami. You could find weed. But what I didn't know at this point in time is that he also didn't have fucking enough money. He didn't have enough money to even be in Miami with me. So ooh, tired of niggas coming to Miami without money. What the fuck? What is y'all doing? So I leave out. I leave out. I walk away. I'm like, you got a whole attitude and you taking it out on me. I'm going to go. I go for a walk by myself. As I'm walking by myself to the ocean, because at this point I know where it's at. I purposely want it to be someplace close. I find the ocean. I go there. He finds me like a little bit later. And, we sit. He apologizes. We're like, okay, it's cool. We're going to make the best of this trip. You don't need weed. You got me. Yeah, whatever. So we enjoyed a nice little night air. We enjoyed a little walk on the beach. It was cool. It was romantic. I was like, oh, this is sweet. I thought it was going to be, everything was going to be fixed. So after that, we go and get something to eat. And that's when shit went downhill again. We go walk to the restaurant that's like literally across the street from my Airbnb just to get some food. And he gets irritated. He gets irritated again because he doesn't have enough money. And I was just like, you knew you was coming on this trip. What happened? What's wrong? Like, why why don't you have enough money? And I guess he was planning on doing something with the weed while he was here in Miami, but whatever. I don't know. That's here nor there. The point is, you came to Miami with no money, and now you irritated because you had no money and no weed, which is some bullshit. Real bullshit. So that kind of put a damper on like my attitude about this trip too, because now I knew that I had to come out of pocket as well, or I would have to like change some things around that I wanted to do in order for us to both have a good time. It was also some bullshit. So we go back to the little Airbnb. We just decided to like finish up the night and try to like have a positive attitude, right? I'm like, okay, we could fix this. We cool. No, not at all. This nigga had an attitude about that weed for the whole trip. Despite the fact that I'm trying to be happy, despite the fact that I'm trying to be cool, he had an attitude for the whole trip, and that was pissing me the fuck off. So, the next day, we go get breakfast. The hotel has a pool. It was a nice little pool. We get in the pool, whatever. And I wanted to go somewhere. I can't exactly where I wanted to go, but I know I needed money to go there. So, I wanted to go, and he was just like, he was real about it. He was like, I'll figure it out. We made a couple phone calls, borrowed some money. I don't know what he did, but he found some money. So we went to, I think it was a restaurant. We went to, Bitch. I think that's the name of the restaurant where they literally call everybody bitch. We went there to get something to eat, and it was a lot more expensive than I thought it would be because I should have did more research on the menu versus just wanting to go to the restaurant for the aesthetic. So